Stay tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, LA Style, and Detour magazines, Joan covered the social set, the Hollywood hotshots, the international art scene, the mysteries of food, the excitement of travel, and the fabulous world of fashion. Joan continues to find creative people on the cutting edge who make things happen. Here's Joan Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. Our guests waiting to be profiled are author Donna Spangler and director Jerry Kernion. Author and former Playboy playmate Donna Spangler was born and raised in Los Angeles. She went to Immaculate Heart High School, Glendale College, and studied psychology at UCLA. Donna was the first female to create, write, edit, and star in an internet soap opera called Scandals. How did you come upon that idea, Donna?
Well, being that I lived in Beverly Hills and I had all the resources available to me. For example, I had the good set material, which was my house, and I had a lot of characters to draw from. That's how I came up with it. I don't know. It just.
Were you writing it? You were writing it.
I wrote it. I created it, and it was.
Were you technically astute?
No, I learned. I learned that. I learned it through trial and error. I learned how to compress it, how to edit it, and it was actually quite a process, but it was a lot of fun. And as the internet was still in its infancy stages at that time, so having video up wasn't an option for a lot of people because it was very slow to download, but it was something that I started.
Did you have a lot of help? I mean, did technicians come in and help you?
No.
No?
I was my help.
What about actors?
Yes, actors, yes. And I did have some help, but for the most part, if I didn't have a camera person, I would set the shots up, I would turn on the camera, I would set it up, and then afterwards if I was in the shot, of course. If I wasn't, then I would just do it myself, do the camera work. It was always better to have someone help, but I didn't have that option.
Sometimes you do it without, and did you just write yourself into the script?
Yes,
alone?
No, not alone. I usually had people because there were a lot of actors and actresses that wanted to partake in what I was doing at the time.
Were you taking acting classes?
I have in the past taken acting classes, but that wasn't. That was my acting class, basically.
No, I was wondering if you met those other actors in acting class, so you had an abundance of people coming into your internet movie.
Well, as it so happens, I was an actress, working actress, and I'd done, commercials. I'd been in some movies. You can see what it is on the IMDb International Movie Database.
Right. Yeah. What movies were you in?
Oh, Guns is probably Dinosaur Valley Girls, Blossom, like a whole different list of things, and I can't. You put me on the spot. I can't remember everything, but I have a whole list.
So you had some background,
yes.
And you knew what to act, and you had contact with people.
Oh yes, and I had a huge group of actors and actresses.
Oh, that's fun.
Well,
tell me, it wasn't a pornographic.
Oh God, no.
It wasn't.
No. It was.
Well, what does Scandals stand for?
Just pretty much. Oh gosh, they're acronyms,
right.
And like scandalous, cunning, alluring, in I can't remember.
D, A, you had words for all those
luscious,
letters.
I had all these different acronyms for it, and it's been a while, so I can't remember them all. I'm so sorry.
But you say no matter where you were born or what schools you went to, rich or poor, everyone wants to be a princess.
I think so. People, females in life, they're not going to voice certain things, but when I get around my friends and people, in between the two of us, we say, you know, we want to be treated well. We want to have a nice, comfortable life. I mean, anybody who says that they don't is lying. Let's face it. I mean, who wants to say, hey, I want to live, you know, I don't want to live a nice life in a comfortable atmosphere. We want to send our children to private schools if we have the capabilities. We want to live the best life that we can.
Is that one of the reasons, obviously somebody heard that, because the BBC then came here to film you? And they filmed, what was it, a secret map of Beverly Hills?
Yes,
that was you.
I was
What was
in
that
that.
about? I love that idea.
They profiled me doing my internet stuff.
Oh, during the scandals, during the scandals time.
During the scandals time, and in addition to that, I was doing my book, and they profiled that, and they came and they met Richie, which is my rich man, my sweet guy.
Richie, we call him Richie.
Yeah.
Richie Rich.
And he is rich in spirit and heart as well. So those are the things I say. Without the old saying is, when your mom said, find a guy who's rich in spirit and heart, you know, draw from that pool instead of the pool that's not in that category.
Or on a negative.
You know, if you're going to go out with
positive.
somebody, go out with somebody who's got something going on and who in the long run can take care of you at least in a comfortable way, or a way that's rich to you.
So the thing with the BBC, when they came out, you were just starting to write your book, How to Get a Rich Man. Did they know that at the time when they came out to talk to you?
I can't remember, but they did profile me on that. And
did they take you around Beverly Hills? Did you go shopping? What did they do?
Well, I'm trying to think. They came to my house. They talked about what I was doing. They videoed me doing videos of what I was doing.
Yeah.
In addition to that, they went upstairs, saw my office, saw my editing facility, saw my the different covers that I had choices of. I had like 3 different choices of covers, and I was trying to decide on one.
But you did decide. And you did, which we have the cover here. I'm pointing this way.
How to Get a Rich Man, the Princess
Formula. And you did
formula.
decide that, and you have the Princess Formula. So, does it work? And how do you work it? And what is the Princess Formula?
The Princess Formula is a formula that you apply, that a female applies to make herself be the best that she can be in order to get the best possible mate.
And how do we do that?
Well, the main thing is self-confidence, obviously. Now, if you don't have self-confidence, I have a lot of different ways to develop it.
Oh, in the book?
Yes. One very important way that I'll go over with you is that oftentimes, if a person, as we well know, we're attracted to people who have confidence, if you think about it.
That's true.
And if you see a girl, even if she's drop dead gorgeous, if she's like this and like this,
withdrawn,
we aren't going to be as attracted to her if she's like, you know,
like
carrying
you.
herself in a strong way. And even if sometimes we don't always feel as confident as we might want to be, if we carry ourselves tall, stand straight, that's one of the major things in life, standing straight and squaring off and carrying yourself in the manner that pushes you out there.
Did you learn that when you were with Playboy, when you were modeling?
I learned some of those things when I was modeling with Playboy, because that is important. Whenever you go out to get an acting job or a modeling job, you really have to be self-confident in who you are, because we're all, you know, I was faced with girls that looked just like me, that were beautiful. I mean, they were all beautiful. It's just a matter of, beyond that, you have to have the personality, and if you don't, or if you feel not self-confident, you have to find a way to surmount that and to to force yourself to maybe be outgoing and pleasant and all those kind of things.
Doesn't an independent woman look at something like a book, The Princess Formula, How to Get a Rich Man? Doesn't that independent woman or that feminist look at it and say, Donna Spangler has set us back 50 years. We've been fighting for our independence, and now she's saying just be this beautiful model?
No.
Do you have to do other things
No,
along
because
with it?
I'm not just saying be a beautiful model. I am saying if we should have choices in life. And I'm thinking that it's setting us back if we don't have those choices. For example, if you want to be a model or a Playboy model, what's wrong with that? If you want to model nude, if you want to model in bikinis, or if you don't, either which way, it empowers you if you make those choices and are able to be confident in those choices that you make. Or if you want to stay home and be a housewife, there's nothing wrong with that. Why should we feel badly?
But you talk about catering to this rich prince that you found. How do you cater to the person that you're trying to get to be your mate?
You're not exactly catering to your mate. You're catering to yourself. You're making yourself be the best that you can be, because in following my formula, it's about being good to people in general.
It's not phony then.
No,
it's not a phony way to trap somebody.
No. You have to really, in life, you have to be nice to people. You have to, like Princess Diana, for example, God rest her soul. She was a good example of a woman who was very approachable, who carried herself in the highest esteem. No matter what other problems she had behind the scenes, she carried herself in a way that was very attractive, and that people wanted to be around her, and they respected her and loved her, and we were all very sad, when we found out that she was gone. She is one of those ladies that I look at, and it's not like she was a career woman in that she had her responsibilities and her duties, and she did them well.
But once we find Mr. Rich, our prince, how do we get him to say, I do?
It varies from guy to guy, but you have to just be yourself. You have to have that level of attraction between the two of you, the trust. You have to just really live the principle, and it'll happen.
Oh,
yes,
can you
but I do have to say though that marriage is not the end all, because there are some guys where just because you get married to somebody doesn't mean that they're going to take care of you. You have to follow. For example, you have to look and see, are they certain ways? Do they treat you a certain way? And of course, if they don't, then you don't put up with it. You expect to be treated with respect and all these different things that we all want in life. And if they don't treat you like that, then you should really go the other way. I mean, I have details in there, of course.
I did. I loved reading it, and I think our viewers will love reading it. And I thank you for coming today. And we'll keep our eyes open.
Well, thank you for having me, Joan. I really enjoyed being here.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with Jerry Kernion. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. I'm here with actor, director, Jerry Kernion, who was born and raised in New Orleans, went to high school in Chicago, and earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Ohio University. He studied at the Royal National Theatre in London, was mentored in directing by John Landis, and studied acting with Ian McKellen and Uta Hagen. We've seen Jerry on the stage, in film, and on TV.
And it's your local post office.
So are you there
Yes,
too?
absolutely. Yes.
What did you start out to be after university?
Well, actually, the story kind of starts a little bit before that. I was started out to be a computer science engineer.
No, you weren't.
I was all set up to go to college and major in computer science engineering, and this was in 1983, coming right out of high school.
Are you geeky enough?
You know what? I was very geeky enough. I think what you're really saying is, am I smart enough?
That's right.
And no, but you know, I thought computers were a fad. I didn't think they'd take on, and so I figured I wouldn't go with that fad business. I'd try something really secure like acting.
Yeah.
And so I did. Yeah.
So you were acting. You've toured in the classics.
I have. I've toured. I've done lots of Shakespeare, and I did Moliere comedies with Brian Bedford at the Mark Taper, and so I'm a classical actor. And then I also now I tour with a company called the Reduced Shakespeare Company.
I was going to talk about that. Tell us what that means. Reduced Shakespeare.
It
I
means
love it.
anything but classics is what it means. We're known for taking large subjects and condensing them down into the stuff people really want to see, like the sex and the violence.
Shakespeare.
We get them right to the heart of it.
But it's been off Broadway, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been everywhere. We were the longest running show in the West End, longest running comedy at the West End, Criterion, for 10 years.
In London
yes.
too? They can handle somebody ruining Shakespeare?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, they like it because it's kind of an in joke. And we were there for quite some time. I wasn't there. I wasn't performing with them. They wouldn't even let me in the theater. But I heard about it. I got to read about it, and it was great. No, we actually have 5 different shows. One of our first show is Shakespeare, Complete Works of Shakespeare, where we do all the Shakespeare plays in under 2 hours. And then from there, we've gone on to do the Bible, all the great books, our newest show, Completely Hollywood.
Who writes those?
This is written by 2 guys named Reed Martin and Austin Tichenor, who are a couple of the founders of the company.
And what do? They take the actual work, so you have to know the work, right?
No. As a matter of fact, look, you don't even have to know the work to do the work. Look at me. Look at me. No,
I would think you would have to know it to reduce it.
No, they know it. They have to know it.
Yeah.
They fake it really well. They look at books and then they write, and it's plagiarism.
It's very
plagiarism, I think, is what it comes down to. No, it's very fun. They're 2 guys with outstanding minds, very brilliant, and great writers and actors in their own length, and so they write this stuff, and then we get into a rehearsal process, and then we tour it for about a year, and then we officially open it, and we tour 5 different shows, and gosh, I guess I'm on the road with them 4 months out of the year about.
Do you colleges?
We do everything. Yeah, we do the college circuit. We do regionals. We do the big one-night theaters where we play for 2,000 seats.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you love doing that?
It's a great job. It really is. It's so much fun because every show is only 3 guys. So it's always 3 guys. We play all the parts, including the women.
Oh.
So my mom is really proud.
Oh, that's so great.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and we have a good time.
But tell me about being mentored by John Landis then in the directing field.
As an actor, I was a series regular on a show called Campus Cops, which if you blinked, you missed it back in the late 90s. And John was the executive producer. And I told him that I had directed some theater and I really wanted to direct for camera. And he said, well, then don't go to your dressing room, stay out here when you're not working. And he kind of took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. And then after that show went down the tubes, he continued to have me around. We would have lunch once a month and have lunch and go talk. And he would basically give me little problems to figure out as a director, and theoretically, and then we'd talk about it.
And so now you are directing. You're directing attic theater ensemble. Is that what it's called?
Well, now yes. I've always directed for the stage, and now I'm back to doing that right now. I direct for my theater company. I'm an artistic director of a theater company called the Attic Theater Ensemble.
That's what. Yeah. Right. What's an artistic director then?
I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Do you choose the work?
We do. That's exactly what I. Thank you very much, Joan. Now I can go back to my office and have a purpose.
How do we focus?
Yes, I do. I choose all the work. I choose what goes on the stage, and I'm responsible for the artistic merit of anything that's presented.
And does that ensemble go to different theaters, or do you have your own theater?
No, we have our own theater.
Oh, you do?
We do. We're just Culver City adjacent, as we like to call it, on Washington Boulevard.
Oh, that's great.
Between Hauser and Fairfax.
I know where that's a great area.
It is.
For
It's an
theater.
up-and-coming little area, and there's
to
a lot
park.
of theaters.
Easy to park.
Yes, not a lot of parking problems.
No, and so then now you're directing UGG.
I am.
Is it called UGG?
That's exactly right. You got it right. UGG. UGG. And that's what I've been saying at rehearsals. I'm directing a new musical. It's not really new. It's actually been around a few years by a writer named Jim Gagan. Jim wrote this piece, I guess about 5 years ago. It was a finalist in the National American Musical Theater Contest.
Was it the festival in New York?
Festival in New York, yes. And then was produced somewhere up north in San Jose a couple years ago.
Oh, right. That was a weird thing to me, that it was in San Jose, but maybe everybody wants theater, right?
I think they do. I think even in San Jose, those heathens like theater, yes.
Yeah, it was funny.
So Jim and I recur as an actor on a show called The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which if you have kids, you must know it because it's the biggest Disney show ever, I think.
He's
Jim's
busy doing
the co-creator of that.
But he wrote UGG.
He did. He wrote UGG, and with a gentleman who has since passed away by the name of Rick Rhodes, who wrote all the music. Rick and his wife Vivian wrote the music for it, and Vivian contributed to the lyrics as well.
Okay, now let me ask you. This is on a little teeny stage, probably, because it's a little theater.
That's right. Not much bigger than these two chairs, Joan.
And how do you do a musical?
Very small. The actors actually stay off the stage. They sing from off stage.
But how do you? Because that's what you
it's tough. It's tough, and but you know what? You have to try things, and you have to. When I became artistic director of the theater, I wanted to push this theater into kind of a new thing and trying new things. But doing a musical in a small theater is very difficult. Luckily, we're blessed with the fact that this really takes place in one particular setting, the cave, and so everything happens on that one setting. But you still have to make room to dance, and we have big dance numbers. It's a musical you would see off Broadway in a heartbeat.
But how many people in it?
I have 11 cast members.
Oh, you do?
I do. And
so they have to dance on this little stage?
They dance on this stage, and they do. I have a choreographer that's given them Broadway choreography, so they're doing big time dance numbers.
Where does the music come from? Is it live music or is it canned?
No, unfortunately it's canned, only because because we're using every bit of space for dancing, we didn't have any place to put the musicians.
But do your cast members sing?
I hope so.
Oh,
yeah.
they have to.
They have to. Yeah, I told them that they must learn. No, we have some phenomenal singers and dancers in the cast, and they're just great. And the music is tracked, but only the actual music part of it, not the singing. The singing is all live. Everything's live.
But does it make it hard like that? They have to really come in on their cues.
Yeah, they better not screw up. Yeah,
they can't do an extra plie?
No extra plies.
And no pirouettes?
No, I may be doing plies in the lobby when I'm watching, but no, they can't do any extra plies.
They can't because they're like really stuck. With an orchestra, you have more leeway, right?
You have a little bit, but you know, the orchestra is still, the conductor can see them and he can maybe figure out a problem, but they're still kind of stuck to what the music as written. But with the tracks are phenomenal. They're really well produced, and you're not, in a small theater like that, you really aren't going to be able to tell because the singing is live. The music is just going to lay right on top of it.
How's the audio? So that works really well?
Oh yes, I upgraded the audio system, and it sounds great. And
so tell us the story.
The story.
You say you're in a cave.
Yes. Well, UGG is a story about a caveman who discovers how to put on a play, and from there it becomes a satire on show business. So all the cliches that you have in the theater and in any kind of show business happen within this tribe in the cave.
Oh.
Yeah. So one of the guys.
One person always try to get to the top.
One tries to get to the top. Fame gets to his head a little bit. UGG is cast his wife or cave woman as the leading lady, but there's another woman in the cave who thinks better of that, and so she bumps her out and seduces UGG, and now she becomes the leading lady.
Just what's happening every day.
Exactly. And instead of casting couch, there's a casting rock. And so it all happens just right in front of your eyes.
One of the interesting things that I think I read in your bio was that you were a combat choreographer.
Stage combat choreographer.
What does that mean?
It means when I get in bar fights, I always lose, because I'm learn how to do it for fake.
Is that what a stage
combat? Yeah, stage combat is any kind of violence you see on stage or in the films.
Do you teach that?
I do. I've taught it for 20 years.
That's what I thought. What do you teach? How do you teach?
I teach everything from sword work, broadswords, fencing, small swords, knife work to hand-to-hand, to found objects, you know, where we take vases and have fights with them, bar fights, all that kind of
But
stuff.
how do you, I mean, those
How do you
have to
teach
be,
it?
yeah, how do you choreograph it, I should say, or how do you teach
It's
it?
just like teaching dance, actually. And, you know, from my background in ballet, I was, what are you laughing at, Joan?
Excuse me.
Studied for years with the Joffrey. Leave me alone.
Sorry.
Yeah. No,
I missed you when I was there.
I know. Most people did. But it was a lovely performance.
So do you have to be there showing them what to do?
You do,
during,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so you
it's
direct
just,
them?
when you choreograph, you have to, you do it exactly like you're choreographing
I
a dance
see.
number.
I see.
And it's to the, every move is choreographed and safe.
So when you set it up, you know
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen. They know, but you have to choreograph 2 people, right? If
Right.
it's a combat.
Or more, yeah.
Or more?
Yeah, sure. The last
teach them
production.
how to tumble
I
and do
teach,
all
yeah,
that?
all that, how to roll out of it. It's basically when you do a show 8 times a week, which is what we do in theater, you have to be able to do it 8 times a week and not, you know, not just take the bruises and be a man and suck it up, because it's 8 times a week. So we do it so that everybody's very safe. Everything is done and thought about to the last inch, so that it's all safety first.
Do you use that in UGG? Are
We
you
do.
using that?
As a matter of fact, I am. I am. Thanks for tying that back in. UGG is, as I said, he discovers about how to put on a play, and the subject of the play is him fighting a boar.
Oh, so you have to do that?
So we
That's
have a
combat?
little bit of combat in there with him fighting his wife, who's playing the boar.
No.
Oh, it's true.
Is it
And
true?
he says she has many features that resemble a boar.
One of the other things that you did, you can't keep making me laugh, is a stunt man.
Yeah.
Did you actually do real stunts?
I did.
Perform
They
them?
actually paid me to fall off buildings and such like that. So
And you
again,
did that?
goes back to my stupidity. I really should have stayed in computers.
Oh,
But yeah, I did
wow.
that. I've done everything from high falls to the fight work and to rolling out of cars and, you know, anything that they would pay me for.
Do you do stand-up?
I don't. I don't. I do improvisational comedy, but even that I don't like doing anymore because they don't give you a script.
Do you, and as artistic director, are you there all the time? I mean, is that like your
It feels like
baby?
It feels like it now. Yeah. Yes, I'm responsible for the ensemble. We have a membership company of about 25
I see.
actors. I'm responsible for keeping them happy, and you know, if you know actors, that's not easy.
And do you bring people in to teach them? Is that it? Acting lessons
We do.
or not?
We do some workshops. We do
Oh, I see.
workshops on Mondays, two Mondays out of the month, and either I'll teach the workshop or I'll bring in people to do specialty workshops, and it's great. It's a real nice feeling of community, and it's all professional actors that want to work on the side and stay in LA.
Well, I'm so glad you came and told us about it.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
And thank you for watching the Joan Quinn Profiles. Keep writing to 777 South Figueroa, 44th floor, Los Angeles 90017. We'll see you next time.
The whole key is being smart.
Being
in the
smart,
ring, you know?
playing it smart.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
you know who Bill Slayton is.
Oh,
and
yeah, exactly.
I know